Bridges, overpasses, and elevated roadways all have a vital component in common: piles. Building new ones or expanding the ones we have requires construction, and pile driving is one of the earliest construction phases. Piles are concrete or steel columns driven deep into the ground to provide the foundation for bridges and overpasses. They make it possible for vehicles to cross open spaces like canyons, gorges, and in Florida, large bodies of water. Our transportation system would be limited to solid ground without them. The most common piles are made of steel-reinforced concrete. They're manufactured in a concrete casing yard, then transported to the job site by truck or barge. Their size and weight depends on the structure they're designed to support, but typically piles weigh between 50 and 70,000 pounds and can measure up to 120 feet tall. That's heavier than a Greyhound bus and taller than a 10-story building. Moving such large piles to a job site is a delicate process because piles are vulnerable to cracking when being lifted and placed into position. The construction team must take special precaution to complete this step. Once the piles are standing in a vertical position, they are driven into the ground through a technique called pile driving. This is done with a mechanical or diesel-powered pile driving hammer, which can weigh between 10 to 12,000 pounds. Each strike brings the pile closer to the needed depth. The concrete pile can be damaged by the pounding of the hammer, despite its large size, so computer analysis is performed on it throughout each step. This ensures the pile isn't cracked or damaged during the pile driving process, and that it can support its intended load. Pile driving can be noisy, and vibrations may be felt nearby. The Florida Department of Transportation takes proactive measures to minimize these effects. FDOT may limit pile driving to daytime hours to avoid disruption to sleep schedules. It can also be prohibited on weekends when residents tend to spend more time in their homes. Noise-dampening shrouds are sometimes hung around the hammer to buffer noise, and the construction team monitors noise levels to make sure they remain within proper limits. Vibration is also monitored. Professional engineers have expertly designed the construction project and analyzed the potential for nearby buildings to be affected. The vibration's impact on nearby structures is measured with special devices that are placed on properties within a certain range of each project. Though you may feel the vibrations from pile driving, damage to your home or business is extremely unlikely. FDOT strives to be a good neighbor as it plans, designs, and constructs a safer and more efficient transportation system, one that will improve mobility and enhance the economy for all Floridians. For more information on this or other subjects, contact the Florida Department of Transportation.